All right, shalom, shalom. This is Shalom from the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, safety, much love, and blessings to the elect of Israel, the 144,000 and the 1/3. I just want to get into a quick lesson on being ready for what's to come and staying ready, because we all see before our eyes it's basically unfolding Jacob's trouble. We see martial law on the way. We see basically the plagues, one of them, one of many. Not only that, all of these different signs where the Lord is showing us that his return is near. So we want to make sure that we're ready, because you don't want to get caught slipping. You don't want to be asleep during the time that your salvation returns. So basically, I want to go into the book of Matthew, chapter 25, and I'm just going to talk about the 10 virgins. As you know, 5 were ready, and the other 5 were not ready. You had 5 that were foolish, and you had 5 that were wise. So you want to make sure that you're part of that wise selection. But I'm just going to start in verse 1 of Matthew 25. It says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps with no oil in them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps." So that oil is going to represent, this knowledge, this wisdom, you keeping the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It's going to represent all those things. The scriptures say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of all times. And that wisdom and knowledge is basically this book, these scriptures, us knowing what's going to happen, us knowing that we need to have faith in these hard times and continue to pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's what's going to save us. So that's the oil that the wise virgins kept with them. Verse 5, it says, "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept." The bridegroom, is the salvation, is Yahweh Shai. But, they was waiting on him, and they all slept. And it says, "And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out." And that's going to be Jake in that day. They're going to want to come with us. They're going to want to seek that salvation. But, the Lord is going to deliver us in the sight of everyone. Everyone is not going to make it. When those nuclear missiles start to fall and those chariots come to pick us up, you're going to have those that slumber and slept and that didn't have their oil. They're going to be sitting there watching, watching the elect being saved. And Lord's willing, I'm of that number. That's why I continue to do this work. That's why I continue to pray. And that's why I fear the Lord, because I know that he's coming with that wrath, and you don't want to be part of it. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but ye go rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. So at the last minute, that the elect gonna be like, "No, man, you're not getting our salvation. It's for us. You better go find you some." And then what's gonna happen? They're gonna leave. They're gonna try and find salvation, or they're gonna try and get right at the last minute. And next thing you know, the chariots are gonna be gone. The door of the ark is gonna be closed up, and those that are left behind are gonna die by the destruction. But let me see. I want to get this whole thing really, but I want to make this quick. But Yep, that's pretty much the point right here. Um, you had the five wise virgins that made it, that carried their oil, and you had the five foolish that were that didn't make it. So I also want to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and this is another one that I want to. This is a really good chapter, but I'm just gonna start from the top. It says, verse 1, it says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee." So we're looking for, and that long life is at this point is going to be everlasting life, because the kingdom is at hand, and in the kingdom we're going to have everything we need, and of course there's not going to be any death, there's not going to be any sickness. You're not going to be broke, poor. You're not going to need for anything. You're going to be covered in blessings everywhere you go. I mean, what about that promise is what about that what you not want? I don't understand Jake sometimes when you tell him and he actually read it and continue to go off, or even worse, the ones that fall out of this truth. I was just looking at a video from um, I forgot which camp the brothers was at. I want to say Philly, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been somewhere else, but Salaki, if I have the information incorrect. But basically, the brothers out there at camp, they've been going out there all winter. You know, all of the all basically they've been out there, and all of a sudden, um, not IUIC, ISUPK, the military. I call them the military Israelites, because they come out there with the fatigues and the loud horn and they're screaming. They got the dark shades on, and they just look like a damn Black Panther party. So they go out there and they telling Great Millstone, this our block. You need to get off our block.